Welcome back to the Hood Needs Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 103. I got one of my dogs with me here, BBTB.
Yes, sir.
And BBTB's camera's off. He accidentally shaved all his facial hair and shaved his whole head bald, so he's embarrassed to be on camera. So
I literally look like a child. I'm sorry, guys.
But anyways, this episode is the Week 12 Midweek Report. We're going to go over a couple topics, things that are relevant to fantasy and football in general. So let's go ahead and jump into the first topic, which is Shedeur Sanders is starting on Sunday. Dylan Gabriel dealing with a concussion. He had a concussion in his game on Sunday. So they're rolling with Shedeur Sanders. How do you feel about that, BBTB?
I love it. They're going to give my boy a chance, especially he plays against a weak Raiders defense. So he should shine. I have Shedeur like 200 yards, 2 tutties, bro. That's
Really?
what I have.
How many turnovers?
Probably like one turnover.
I think he starts off slow. I think he starts off the game slow. Maybe gets sacked a couple times. I think after the first half, or maybe after the first quarter, he kind of starts to pick it up. But I think for sure he will start off slow and then pick it up over the second half of the game or so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a weak Raiders defense, so I don't know.
Yeah,
they got dismantled by the Cowboys, right? And so,
yeah, Dak threw like crazy. But they have what's his name?
I mean, they still got Judy, they still got Judkins, they still got Cedric Tillman. Like they still got studs on their team.
Yeah, but the Raiders have
what, Max Crosby?
Yeah, Max Crosby's gonna tear him up, I think.
We'll see.
Yeah, but it's good for Shedeur Sanders. We talked about him in the waiver episode. Pick him up. Just stash him because trade deadline ends soon. And if anything happens to your starting quarterback, you're just going to want a backup. So pick him up.
True.
You never know. He could just start being decent enough to start on your team in fantasy. Who knows? Or at least be, get you 15 fantasy points plus. Like 15, some quarterbacks have a lot lower of a floor. So anyways, let's move on to the next topic. Cardinals have ruled out Marvin Harrison and DeMarcado. So it's going to be the
Michael Wilson show.
Michael Wilson and Bam Knight show. So that's going to be interesting to see. Michael Wilson popped off last week. He did really good.
Guys, it was either I pick up Michael Wilson last week or Chemo picks him up. And I was like, you know what? Let me let my dog pick him up. And he almost won.
Right, I lost by 4 points. Dude, I had Lamar, and he dropped less than 5 fantasy points. So at that point, it's tough for me to win. And I played against a strong opponent. He had McBride on his team, so I was like, man, it's gonna be tough for me to pull through with a win. But anyways, no Marv, no DeMarcado, so it's gonna be a lot of McBride. It's gonna be a lot of Wilson, and then probably Bam Knight. I think Trey Benson. Oh, that's actually our next topic. Trey Benson's 21-day practice window has been open, so he could return as early as this week. It seems like he'll return week 13.
13, I was going to say.
Yeah, but if Benson is healthy, I think you could trade for Benson like before your trade deadline. If your trade deadline hasn't happened yet in your league, I think you should get Benson. I think the backfield.
I'm gonna be hella real with you. If you're in playoffs, my friend, and you're banking on a Cardinals RB, I'm so sorry, my friend. You are not winning.
I'm just saying, like, if you can get him for the low, because if someone has him, they're probably not using him.
Yeah,
obviously,
true.
He's been injured, and you're just get him for the low and stash him. Worst case, he doesn't do much. But honestly, the way Jacoby Brissett is still on the ball, and he was running good, bro. He was taking reps with James Conner, so like he was getting snaps. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I feel you. It's just the only thing is like when he comes back, he has a tough schedule. He's got the Rams week 14. Houston week 15, Atlanta week 16, and then if you make it to the chip, it's Cincinnati. So that's if you make it to the chip with a
He
Cardinals running back.
he's definitely gonna want it, yeah. But if you trade it for low, if you get him for low, anyways, I just think like for a guy that is gonna try to be proving himself to be their starting running back next season, like to be the starter, if he wants that position, he's gonna have to show that he can earn it and he can do it. So I think he's
True.
gonna be playing like a dog, especially after coming off his injury. Let's move on to the next topic. Tyrod Taylor starting for the Jets. Aaron Glenn officially announced that Tyrod Taylor is the starter. People are just tired of watching Justin Fields throw the ball so inaccurately.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he could even get like some like smooth little dump offs, even if it was just like simple completions, and then break off for a scramble and go for a long run here and there. That's exciting. People like that. But if you're missing all your throws and you just can't move the ball down the field, and it's like, okay, you're obviously going to scramble every other play, and defenses are, ready for that. Then yeah, it's just not a good look. Yeah, the Justin Fields experiment in New York is over. Tyrod Taylor starting. Does this give you a bump? Is this a bump for the pass catchers enough that you feel comfortable starting at tight end like Mason Taylor?
I would say yes, because that Baltimore defense is like they almost lost to that weak Browns team last week. Like if Dylan Gabriel was still in the game, I think they would have. I think the Baltimore Ravens would have lost. So if
Yeah,
when Tyrod Taylor played, I think he played week 3 or 4. He played like a stud, and
he was
so
slinging it. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And also that passing game will help too. And Tyrod Taylor can run on his feet as well. Like he's just a way more
yep,
accurate than Justin Fields. So
yeah.
honestly, this could be a really close game than people think, because I think the spread, if I'm not mistaken, here I'll look that up.
Okay, while
But
you're looking
I
that
feel
up,
like this should be a Brees game.
Brees Hall. Yeah, I mean, I could see it honestly in
Uh,
if they can move the ball, but
it's
they
minus
don't.
13 and a half.
God,
Like for Baltimore. Like I really
yeah.
think this
What's the
should
total?
be 44 and a half.
That's not too low. It's not too high either. So it's kind of in the middle. So that's
I
not bad.
really think this should be a lot closer than what people think.
Vegas
No,
knows. I mean, obviously, they don't have anyone to catch the ball. It's just Mason Taylor and Adonai Mitchell. We saw last week Adonai Mitchell with a bunch of drops. So
yeah, that's true.
people are quick to. I think if Justin Fields is not an accurate thrower, so I think that Adonai Mitchell struggled to connect with him, and it's not like he had, you know, Justin Fields was throwing it great throughout the season. So if Adonai Mitchell can't get going with Tyrod Taylor either, then yeah, it's just an Adonai Mitchell problem. But
Yeah.
they do have that rookie Mason Taylor, tight end, and then a bunch of other randos. So if Tyrod Taylor can get the ball going, then Brees Hall will be a good play. Let's move on to Michael Penix getting ACL surgery, season-ending injury. There is a note here. Penix has had 5 season-ending injuries, including 2 ACL tears, a fractured collarbone, and AC joint separation. And so this
So
is the
sad.
5th season-ending injury. It's on. He had 2 ACL tears, I believe, on different knees. I'd have to look that up, but this one is on a knee that he had an ACL tear before. So it's his second ACL tear on the same knee. Tough for Falcons, the team. It sets them back. I don't think they have a first-round pick next year.
No,
So,
it's supposed to be for the Rams.
yep. So
Their first round pick's supposed to be for the Rams, and the Rams might hit the Super Bowl this year. Like it's crazy.
I think, yeah, that's honestly nuts. It's really sad, honestly, mostly for Bijan, but also for Drake London. Like, you got this young team with some studs. Drake London is a stud. Bijan is like amazing if you get him the ball. When he gets open space, he's a dog, right?
Yeah.
But when you lose your starting quarterback to a season-ending injury, and he has a history of injuries like that, as a franchise, you got to make that decision. And honestly, I'd be shocked if they were like, "Oh, we're sticking with Penix. He's our guy. He's going to come back next season." And blah. I'd be like, I mean, I don't think they have a choice right now, but I would be really surprised if they actually did stick with Michael Penix, because if you're that injury prone and it happens again, then you're stuck with him and you have nothing. So
Yeah.
that's Bijan's just going to keep getting older and rot away on the Falcons.
Literally.
What do you do? What do you do if you're the Falcons in this situation?
Upgrade the like. I don't know. I feel like they've had a really unlucky team because they're a really like. Even though they are 3-7, like like they are a good team. They're just getting really unlucky. Like I feel like they draft another receiver coming up if they can. Like go trade for a stud. Give up some picks. I don't know. There's a lot of things the Falcons need to do. So I'm not. I'll be honest, with you, I'm not really sure.
I think, man, at this point, they have no picks next year, right? No first round picks.
Yeah.
They have quarterbacks gone, done for the season, and you're probably likely going to move on. I think they just rebuild from here. Just start off fresh. Like you're probably gonna just. I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
I was going to say they'd trade away Bijan and get what you can out of him, get picks, because Bijan's a dog. And how long is his contract again?
Yeah.
So like once his contract's over, he can just leave, you know? So trade him while you have time, or like that you can trade him and get what you can out of him. I don't know what his contract is actually, so the rookie contract. But yeah. Anyways, they need to rebuild. Sucks for the studs on that team. Next topic, Jamar Chase appeal was denied. If you guys listened to our last episode, Jamar Chase he spit on Jalen Ramsey and is going to miss week 12 because he's suspended. He forfeits $507,000 in wages after being suspended. So yeah, he's not going to be able to, well, he'll be back week 13, but he appealed his decision and the appeal was denied. So he will miss week 12.
But the dude literally said that he didn't spit on the homie and clear evidence he spat on the homie.
Yeah. So he tried to make the appeal that to play in week 12 or to be able to not be suspended, but it was denied. So good for T. Higgins. I don't know if it's really good for T. Higgins. I don't know how T is going to play as the number one.
Yeah.
Because when was the last time T played as the number one and Jamar Chase was out?
Honestly, I think it was either last year or the year before when Chase got hurt. I know T's been hurt a lot, but I think at some point, yeah, I don't know when, but we'll just have to find out. Who did they play again?
They're playing Pittsburgh, I believe.
Oh, wow. No, they already played Pittsburgh. They played New England.
New England. Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, New England. That's a tough one. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
I would still start T though.
Of course, you have to. The number one on that offense, and they need to win. They're going to be playing like crazy.
Yeah.
I think a sneaky play is Yoshivas, the second year or third year. I forget how many years it's been in the league.
Oh yeah.
But he's a sneaky play, add and play. If you have him available on waivers and you need like a flex, I would pick him up. He's probably already picked up after waivers. That's it for that topic. Let's move on to CJ Stroud ruled out for Thursday Night Football against the Bills. Stroud's expected to be back week 13 versus the Colts. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. If you can get rid of Nico Collins, sell him high while you can, I would do it. Because I think he goes back to being streaky. Or not streaky, but he's just going to be back and forth. Good game, terrible game. Good game, terrible game. And you can't have that on your team if you're trying to make a playoff push. Or if you're in the
Literally.
playoffs.
Yeah, because they're gonna play CJ Stroud at some point, and you don't want your playoff, like, I don't know, dreams or hopes relying on Nico Collins. So if it's somehow still available, your trade like deadline is still available, try to get rid of him.
He could get you to the playoffs because they play Buffalo with Davis Mills as QB Thursday night, and then the week after they get the Colts, which is divisional in Indianapolis, and then they have Kansas City week 14. That one will be tough, but he should do decent those two games. CJ Stroud plays against the Colts. You can get good value out of him for sure, just because he's been playing well. He's been pretty consistent the last two games with Davis Mills. Davis Mills is the quarterback again against the Bills. So sell him while you can. Even if your trade deadline ends, it'll probably be this weekend. So if he plays well, especially against the Bills, you could probably sell him for even more.
Yeah.
So anyways, no CJ Stroud till week 13. That's it for that topic. Pretty straightforward. Last topic that we have on the list, Aaron Rodgers has a left wrist fracture. He has not been ruled out yet. We'll know by Friday if he's going to be available for Sunday or not. Who's the backup? Is Mason Rudolph? Is the backup?
I'm pretty sure it's Mason Rudolph, but I'll check.
Yeah, so Mason Rudolph is the backup. That's a big downgrade for DK, There's no one else there. So
Yeah.
Big downgrade for him. Even for whoever the running back is, if Warren is out for Kenneth Gainwell, the offense won't be able to move as much. We've seen Mason Rudolph play years before. He's a backup for a reason, So, yeah, it's not good. If you have DK Metcalf, do you trade him away now before it's too late, before the deadline's over?
No. I'd still hold him.
Okay. They're playing Chicago, which Chicago's defense hasn't been really good. And if Mason Rudolph just hyper targets DK, DK could have a decent game. Play Chicago, Buffalo, Baltimore. In the playoffs, they have fantasy playoffs. They have Miami, Detroit, Cleveland. So, interesting. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. Something to note, his left wrist is his non-throwing wrist, so
yeah, true.
It shouldn't affect his throwing, but you just, it's if you're injured,
yeah, or still hurts.
Yeah,
still plays the thing in your head.
Yeah, if someone runs into him, he gets tackled, he gets sacked, whatever. Like he's gonna feel it, So
yeah.
Anyways, that's it for the midweek report. Those are all the topics. Hopefully you guys have all the information you need to help you make decisions, whether it's trades, trade for, trade away, whichever. But that'll do it for this episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.